right, welcome back to Winner Go Home podcast presented by Game 7 Entertainment.
What's
Game
up,
7
y'all?
Pat.
Game 7 Demo in the building.
Game 7 Rob.
Yes, sir. We back at it with another episode. Let's get right into it.
Yes, sir.
All right, the first game we got on the menu here is the Cleveland Cavaliers versus the Golden State Warriors. This was an interesting game for a couple reasons. Dennis Schroeder, I didn't really get to see a lot of Dennis Schroeder before this. This was my first time seeing him. Why is he wearing number 71, man? Like, he's been wearing weird numbers, I feel like, since the Celtics, but on the Celtics, it makes sense to do that.
Yeah, because what it was is 17 was his number, like in Atlanta, in LA, and then in OKC, even I think it was 17. And then it wasn't available for the Celtics because half of the fucking numbers aren't available. So he was like, all right, I'll flip it, 71.
Oh, so now he's like inverse 17.
That
I
makes
actually
sense.
didn't even think about that. I didn't even remember that happening.
I was about to say it beats me. I would never.
But to me, it just makes him kind of look like a Euro player in a way, I guess, like if that makes any sense. But it makes sense with the style of play, because that was another thing I was thinking while watching Dennis Schroeder is he kind of plays like almost like a soccer player where he's like always probing, like he's always just looking for a good shot for someone else instead of really like I don't know how to explain it.
It's like when he's on the ball, it's almost it's like Luka Modric-esque.
Yeah, it's very he's looking for his teammates and he's very quick with it. He's not very calculated as much as he's just running and looking for an open teammate. And this was a bad shooting game for the Warriors, I'll be honest with you. Curry wasn't looking very Curry-esque, and the Warriors announcers were saying he kind of has had a bad month of December shooting the ball.
Yeah. I don't even think he broke 20 this game.
No, I don't think he did. He wasn't very Curry-like at all, I feel like. And the Cavs were showing their dominance, man. This is the first Cavs game I've seen in a little bit. And, dude, they're a for real team, man.
Yeah, I remember when you texted in the group chat after that game, you were like, the Cavs are very real.
They're not, like, pretenders, I don't think. Because at this point, like, I know it's still not the All-Star break, and we're going to have to see how they hoop after that, after having a little bit of a break to for sure know who they are. But it's looking like we kind of do at this point. Like, it's looking like we know that they're going to be a pretty scary team because they're quick, man. They get into their sets real quick, and they can shoot the lights out. Yep. And they have talent, too. And they have a good
paint presence.
That's what I was about to get into. It's not just that they have a collection of these shooters like Max Strus, Dean Wade, Donovan Mitchell, and Darius Garland. It's not even like they just have that. They also have Jared Allen.
Evan Mobley. Bro.
And he can shoot too.
He's been shooting threes this season. He's been doing what AD needs to do.
Yeah, really.
And Sabonis, we was talking about the last episode. Sabonis needs to shoot more threes. AD needs to shoot more threes. Although AD has been shooting them a little more.
A little bit more than he has.
But Mobley is right at the sweet spot of like, I'm not a straight up stretch big like to the level of Cat or like Wemby where a lot of my diet's going to come from the 3-point line, but I'm knocking him down enough that you got to close out on me.
Almost like a Wendell, you know?
Yeah. He is getting. I think he's getting to that point, especially from the corner, because he is pretty. From what I see, he's pretty efficient from the corner. I don't know the exact numbers, but yeah, Evan Mobley. I mean, I was completely wrong about him on draft night. I think we were actually together for that draft, and I didn't think he was going to be anything, man.
Yeah.
Like, just from the look. I don't know if you remember how he looked on that draft. Like, he didn't look like...
He didn't have any sauce.
Not at all. And I hate to judge players, solely on that. But he also just didn't look like he had a competitor in him. Because if you don't have, like, some sauce to you...
But wasn't he also, like, a little bit more skinny also at the time, too? So.
But he's still skinny, man.
He still doesn't have sauce. But, he hoops.
And he's got better frame now, I guess.
He does. And he also just... I didn't think... At this time, I wasn't as... focused on defense as I am now. I really didn't think about defense that much when evaluating prospects, and that was a huge blind side of mine at the time. So I didn't think about his defensive potential, and when he got in the league, that was what he could do immediately, and that gave him confidence, I think, to grow as a player offensively, because he's like, hey, I can get minutes no matter what.
That's almost like a Miles Turner type of guy in a little bit.
It's like new age Miles Turner in a way,
because
Miles Turner came up. No,
he's more of like a true center.
Yeah,
true footer. He has that big body presence. Pause again, but I would say Evan Mobley is like the power forward, modern day Miles Turner.
I feel that.
And yeah, I was about to say because Miles Turner he came up a little bit in the old center age. Like I think when did he get drafted? I think he got drafted maybe 2014. No,
somewhere around there.
He's been in the league. Yeah, I would check that because he's been in the league for a minute. And
yeah, he was definitely when LeBron was on the Cavs, because I remember, if I'm not mistaken, he got a nice block. And I was like, damn, bro. I was like, yeah, he could be a great defender in the future.
So,
bro.
so 2015 he came to the league.
He came in right in the middle of that center drought.
It's been about a decade since he's came into the league. And, I mean, he's still a good piece, man. Yeah. He's someone that doesn't get talked about a lot. I don't know how you... Oh, because freaking Evan Mobley. But... Moses Moody is also someone that I thought was kind of interesting this game.
Moody.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Every time he scored, I was thinking of that. And he just doesn't stay healthy, man. But when he's out there, he is a piece that the Warriors need to develop because he actually he still has some potential, I feel like. I don't know another stat I'm missing. I don't know exactly how old he is, but I know he's still pretty young. I think he's 24 maybe, 24, 25.
Yeah, because I was looking up his stats, and like the games that he was healthy and playing, like he was getting more
He's
than
only
10.
22.
Wow. So
yeah. Crazy.
So he just has a receding hairline. No offense. That's why I think he's a little bit older than he is. But like he's a hooper, man. Like he just has to stay healthy. He has glass bones. But Curry was like that. Like if you think like I'm not saying
stuck with it.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's Curry, but like you have to take those players that are getting injuries early in their career and still give them a chance.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Ball game.
So you definitely got to check out some Moses Moody if he stays healthy, because he's a real hooper.
I feel that.
Anything else to say about this one?
I don't know why, but when you said that, bro, that made me think of the Olympic Paul George injury, bro.
Oh my gosh,
Jesus Christ!
Nah, he ain't had nothing to that level.
Yeah, no, he's just an injury, like a tweak prone type of guy.
He has the bug.
Yeah,
the injury bug.
Might just be like, ooh, my leg. It's like, bro, you just went for a layup, dog.
The way the AD kind of is like, what did he even do to hurt himself?
Type, you know.
This next game was Brunson's. I think it was 55.
Oh.
So that's why I have this one in here. Surprisingly, it wasn't a great game from Brunson, honestly. Like, I can tell y'all from watching the all possessions, like, he started off pretty slow. Like, obviously he got 55, so it was a good game. But for Brunson's standard, he didn't have a good field goal percentage. He wasn't really taking high-quality shots. And the reason he had to score 55 was more because the Wizards came out to play. They didn't have Kuzma or Jordan Poole. And they were hooping with a bunch of, like, no-name guys, man.
Well, when you don't have Jordan Poole chucking up whatever the fuck he wants.
That part.
And then Kuzma taking his type of shots. You know what Kuzma does. He's a little inefficient sometimes.
And he's trying to do, like, a LeBron impression or something, bro. Like, you're not a point forward.
Oh, my gosh. What exactly happened to Kuzma? When did Kuzma... I feel like Kuzma's been injured all season, man.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
I don't know. I just don't like Kuzma, bro.
I'm not a big... No offense to Kyle Kuzma. I'm not a huge fan of his game either.
As a Celtics fan, fuck Kyle Kuzma.
Yeah, because you had the oh my gosh.
People were trying to compare him to Tatum, bro.
Yep. That's what I was about to bring up. That's that was a crazy argument. When was that, like 2017, maybe 2018?
2017, I think.
Yeah. But I mean, Kyle Kuzma did have maybe like a year or two on him where it was like, okay, yeah, he could be a star player, but then it's like just downhill.
Here's the thing with that though, and I look back on it, and I wasn't a huge like I wasn't on the battlefield fighting for Jason Tatum, but I would always pick Jason Tatum in that argument, and it's because you could see it even when Kyle Kuzma was young. His game didn't have a lot of places to go, in my opinion.
I feel you.
And if you watched the ball and you knew that, like a lot of people were just giving him credit because he was young.
I hear that.
Like just because he's young doesn't exactly mean he's gonna grow into an amazing player. Like look at someone like Ben Simmons. Like if someone has deficiencies, those are deficiencies sometimes. It doesn't automatically mean they're gonna grow out of them.
That's true.
And Kyle Kuzma's bag was always more of like a role player, like just in the play style of it. Like he could become an elite role player, which he did for the Lakers and helped him to win the chip.
Yep,
because he was the glue guy.
I forgot Kuzma has a ring.
Yeah, he was the third option on that team, kind of.
That's crazy.
I feel like when he was younger.
Yeah, no, I mean he did make an impact on that team, but that's where he should be. That's what he should be doing.
Yeah, it's like once he got older, he kind of like I want to say stop playing his role, but it's like you're on the Wizards, so
that's
like
what
you
I
don't
was
have
say.
You don't have a specific role. It's like, bro, y'all go out there and play some high school hoop, bro. It's like we don't got plays for real. Like you know that one coach where it's just like, hey, y'all go out and hoop, and if we win, we win. Fuck it.
Like God got us.
Yeah, we're the Wizards, you know.
Yeah, and Jordan Poole took that and ran with it,
bro.
But nah, they like when they aren't being smothered by Jordan Poole and Kyle Kuzma's need to play the way they play. They have some nice pieces, bro. Like
All the starters were in double figures this game, man. Like, that's crazy. They were playing real team basketball. Like, everyone was teeing up.
Like, Koulibaly's nice. Mm-hmm. Bub Carrington is nice.
Champagne, who had a crazy game. I didn't know about him until this game. Like, called me a casual, but I really didn't. And he's...
Oh, you're a casual.
Yeah, I might be. And he's crazy, dude. Like, he's cold. Like, I mean, crazy is a little bit too much. He's kind of like Kuzma in a way, where it's like, he could be a really good role player one day. Like, he could really play his role great on a championship team one day. I could see that.
I feel like there's another name that I'm missing with the Wizards. Oh, obviously Alex Sarr.
Yeah, like, Alex Sarr. I think he was playing a little too small in this game. This is a one-game sample size. I haven't watched enough of him. But from what I saw this game, he was playing against Cat a lot. And I think he should be able to match up against Cat. Like, obviously, as a rookie, you're going to get your lunch ate a little bit. But, like, he didn't match up at all. Like, he was getting killed. Like, Cap got whatever he wanted in this game.
He has that Marvin Bagleyism of, like, I'm big man size, but I want to play like a wing.
And that's how he looked on defense a little bit. He looked very uncomfortable in the paint, and that's why I feel like the Knicks would have won this game a little bit, or would have wrapped this game up a little bit sooner if they just fed Cat a little bit more. They didn't do that enough this game. Cat was getting whatever he wanted this game. But Jalen Brunson, he clutched up in the fourth and OT. That's why it's also kind of a fake 55, because it was OT and he got a good amount of points in OT.
I feel that.
But it's
one of those hardened games.
Yeah. And he did get a lot of free throws. Like, a lot of the time I was sitting watching Jalen Brunson shoot some free throws. I don't know how many he got, but it wasn't the double digits. I know for sure. One thing, I might have to try to pull it up to show you guys. Achua got a poster on this game. It's just crazy to me that Precious Achua got a nasty ass poster in this game.
Let me see if I can pull it up on my
phone. Yeah, that would be easier. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm definitely going to put it in the background if I can find it. It was a crazy ass poster, and I definitely just wanted to mention it to show y'all guys, because it's always fun to see. And
Precious.
And it's just also it's Precious, bro. You let someone named Precious poster you, but I mean,
it was a bad one too.
It wasn't a disgusting one. It was a poster though. Oh
yeah. And it's the and one.
Yeah, and I don't know who it was exactly. I kind of forgot who number 18 is.
Who'd he catch?
I forgot but he went back at him. Like, you could tell he was very upset about getting postered. And so I at least like that he had some pride. He tried to get a bucket back on him. Like, he obviously couldn't poster him.
Oh, that was Keyshawn George.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. See, I knew him. I just forgot who he was. I was having a brain fart moment. But so he was trying to go back at him. Like, he was like trying to sauce him up, but I believe he missed his shot. No, actually, I do know what. I think he caught some ankles, but he missed his shot. So
doesn't count.
Yeah, so he could have got his get back, and it would have all been forgotten, but he didn't get it. So let's scroll down to this next game.
Shout out Precious.
Shout out Precious, man. Precious.
Y'all knew any Preciouses growing up?
I'm actually just gonna think about. Did you?
Not any named Precious, but like women that could definitely fit in that category.
Oh man.
Like crazy names?
No,
but
like
you know,
Precious.
like a Precious.
People got the vibe of
like a Peaches type of like.
I knew a Miss Peaches, this old lady that she would sit, because when I was in an apartment complex as a kid, it was one of those apartment buildings where it's like the 2 doors in the middle go to the upstairs apartments, and the 2 doors on the sides go to the downstairs apartments.
Okay.
So I was in the upstairs apartment right here actually, and then she was in the downstairs one that was like further away from me, and she was just like this sweet old lady, and I was a little kid, so I was one of the only white boys in the apartment complex, and I was really the only white boy that was like outside with all the other kids like that
type shit.
And so she was always like worried about me a little bit. Like, you doing all right? Them boys being mean to you? And like she would come knock on our door and she would bake something like, does Dimitri want any of this?
Real.
Like,
sounds like a stand-up woman.
Yeah.
That's real, but her name was Miss Peaches, brother.
Miss Peaches.
And
there were certain times she told me, she said, if I'm not sitting out on in front of my door, don't knock. And
damn.
So
what you think she'd be getting up to? You know what I'm saying?
As I got older, I was
Miss
like,
Peaches was getting active.
I was like, why was she called Miss Peaches?
What you think, man?
Oh,
maybe she was the
Miss Peach got the peach.
That's what I'm saying.
I thought she was a big woman.
She was, but she had like bus driver build.
Oh,
you know,
man.
So we rocking with bus driver Bill though?
No, like, cause she was older, so it's like, hey man, work is work.
Work is work.
Hey, shout out bus drivers.
Yeah, shout out Miss Peaches.
Hey, I love my bus driver.
I remember seeing on Facebook she passed away a few years ago.
R.I.P. Miss.
So yeah, R.I.P.
Yeah, now it's R.I.P. Miss.
Yeah, low key, you got sad real quick.
How you think she went out though?
I mean,
doing what she loves.
Old age.
Nah, she probably went out
doing what she loves.
Hey man,
shout out.
Rest in power, Miss Peaches.
Hey man.
Let's get into this Indiana Pacers Milwaukee Bucks game, man. This was the Rick Carlisle Doc Rivers game, man. The announcer said they're both Hall of Fame locks. I don't know the criteria for Hall of Fame coaches, but I felt like that was kind of an outlandish statement.
Well, because they both had like decently good playing careers, especially Doc. We didn't look into Rick Carlisle. We were looking into a bunch of different coaches.
He might have had a good playing career.
He might have had a good playing
crazy.
Career. But they both got championships.
That's what the broadcasters pointed out. But they said it. They embellished, man. To me, they're like, both these guys have championships. Like, to me, if you put them together, they have championships. But it's like, saying it like that makes it sound like they've won multiple. Like someone like Popovich or Eric Spoelstra. They're not in that category. They're in the one and done category.
They got the one ring.
And they're probably not going to get another one.
But then,
probably not.
When it comes down to the judgment...
Well, Doc has an NBA cup.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. When it comes down to the judgment of being
rings.
A Hall of Fame lock, like, does it come down to, okay, well, yeah, you were a great coach. You coached all these good pieces, blah, 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 blah. Mm-hmm. But so does every other coach. So it's like, at what point do we take in outside factors such as, oh, you're also great,
Well, it's the basketball Hall of Fame. It's not the coaching Hall of Fame.
Okay.
Or the players Hall of Fame. So, like, if you have a good playing career and then a good coaching career,
kind of adds together.
That's still one career.
Like, say JJ Redick goes on and wins some chips as a coach.
Then he's definitely gonna be a Hall of Fame.
Because he had a good playing career.
Because he was like an all-star type of player.
And then also the thing with them that could be argued is wins. They have a lot of wins because they've been in the league for so long.
I feel that.
So because of the total wins, and I just don't like total wins.
I feel like if you bring that into account, you also got to look at what season by season their record has been overall. Because it's like you may have gotten they've had X amount of wins, but if you also got X amount of losses, bro, what's the ratio?
Well, they've had a lot of playoff seasons.
At the same time,
that is true.
It comes down to like the longevity argument, and if we're gonna praise Bron for his longevity as a player, you gotta praise guys like Doc Rivers and Rick Carlisle for being on the older side, and they're still sticking around coaching teams that are winning games.
I think that's a very good point.
Yeah,
and that kind of does persuade me, like that, like the Bron argument where we give Bron his flowers for that, we give players their flowers for that. A coach, yes, their body doesn't deteriorate necessarily, but it's still an achievement because the game changes so much.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Like the game since Rick Carlisle has been a good coach, since Doc Rivers has been not a good coach, but since they've started becoming a head coach, the game has changed tremendously, especially since Doc has won his first ring, since both of them have won their championships.
Like imagine it's been Popovich watching the evolution of hoop. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's the thing. He kind of. Well, I guess his last one was in 2014, also. So, but all those guys, they haven't won another chip in the new era, in the Steph Curry era of basketball.
The 3-point era, really.
We'll chuck up 63s a game and make about 1/4 of them.
That's the thing, though. I think you need to call it the Curry era, man. I think you need to put some respect on it because you can call it the 3-point era, but then who made it the 3-point era? You know what I'm saying?
That's very true.
Yeah, that's valid.
But I feel like people probably won't do that until
DeJounte Murray. Just kidding.
Yeah, that's who did it. They probably won't do that until Steph retires.
I can see that.
I think that once Steph retires, I think he's going to get a lot of flowers, especially if he wins his 5th ring, man. Like you said, uncomfortable conversations will be happening if Steph ever gets his 5th ring somehow. Yeah. I think, what if he went away from the Warriors to do that? Would it then be the same conversation? But Bron did that a couple
Bron got his rings with different teams, so it's like
what if he goes to the Bucks?
But I'm not saying the Warriors aren't. But when were the Warriors some of those rings aren't from super teams? You know what I'm saying? So it's like
they are from KD, but he didn't.
Only half of them are from super teams, really.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like two of those. Yeah, so it's like two of those.
But Bron was on a super team, so.
But I mean, if we're going like
and that's who you're going
That's
against.
half
super
of his
team ring
rings,
for
yeah.
super team ring, and it's like, okay, well, who's got?
Well, Bron only got. Well, actually, Bron got 2. You could say.
Yeah, so they're really like
neck and neck, bro. But that's what I'm saying. So Curry gets 1 more. Doesn't matter with a super team or not.
Mm-hmm. Are we saying he's better than Bron? No.
Because we put Kobe above Shaq all time. Or at least I do.
I mean, yeah, 100.
Not everyone does.
Not everyone does. Not everyone does.
I think it's the popular opinion. I would say so.
I would say.
But it depends on also.
Shout out Bean, rest in power.
Hell yeah, rest in peace.
Say what's up to Miss Peaches.
Yeah, I saw something about him on the screen just a second ago.
But it also depends on like what you're looking for in the game. Are you looking for a more like big oriented? Like, what do you like when you watch hoop? Do you what?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like if you're like, oh, I like Dirk Nowitzki, it's like, yeah, of course you're gonna prioritize Shaq over Kobe. But like, if you grew up and you're like, oh, I like MJ, it's like, okay, yeah, Kobe Bryant, man.
People that are fans of dominant bigs and dominant players in general, or
like physicality.
Physicality, dominance. Obviously, Kobe was dominant, but in the physicality sense, they're gonna pick Shaq. I think they're gonna put Shaq over Kobe.
Cause like I'm not saying like Dwight Howard's like no like good top 5, but he's up there.
He knows
man.
how to get physical.
He up there though, like a prime Dwight Howard.
Dwight knows how to get physical.
Hey, that's a vintage Dennis.
Shout out Dennis Schroeder. Yeah, I was about to say shout out Dennis Schroeder, bro.
oh my god, man.
Oh, you can only have.
But what were you saying about Dwight Howard, my brother? I'm sorry.
I'm sure he's not like. He's up there in like top big man, of all time.
I give him top 10 at the very least.
You know what I'm saying? Like
that's a crazy conversation, man.
Because
we can get into that.
Because you got to look at his prime. He was 3 back-to-back DPOYs back when that meant something.
That's true. He was a defensive menace. Yeah. But then
dunk contest, Superman.
The dunk contest.
Are we putting Rudy Gobert in the top 20 then? Because he has fucking.
Because here's the thing. I wouldn't put Dwight top 10. If he didn't get that ring with LA. Even if it is a role player ring. Role player rings still add to the resume. The same way that Gary Payton and Tim Hardaway Sr. and White Chocolate all got their role player ring with Miami. That's still on the resume,
So if Rudy Gobert becomes a role player and gets a fucking...
Becomes?
Okay. He starts. This could, listen, he's a liability, but he's not a role. I guess he is a role. He plays a role.
His role is protect the rim and rebound.
Okay, so
try
Rudy Gobert
dunks.
If Rudy Gobert wins the ring with like the fucking Thunder, because bro, that could happen. The Thunder kind of need a Rudy Gobert ass player. If Rudy Gobert goes to the Thunder, wins the ring, you're like Rudy Gobert's top 20 center.
Maybe.
Oh my god! But it's the Thunder.
But here's the thing.
But it's the Thunder that are winning that ring.
Here's the thing you got to keep in account though is like Rudy Gobert's prime is not even sniffing Dwight Howard's prime.
That's true.
The defensive player of the years are there though.
Accolades, yeah, but like just the eye test of like watching them hoop.
Offensively, no.
Exactly, bro. Like they're both.
But that's why you say top like 20, 30 instead of top 10. Because if you give defensive player of the years that weight, you got to put Rudy somewhere in there. And I'm not saying you got to put him top 10.
Like a lot of Rudy Gobert's DPOYs are very undeserved.
Oh man, I sound like a Rudy Gobert defender. It's not even that I'm that. It's just like that.
You a Dwight Howard hater.
Yeah, I'm that, and yeah. I don't think you should just give Dwight Howard credit for defensive player of the years because defensive player of the years are kind of sometimes you just get them.
But at the same time, that was in an era where defense was like more people important. Took pride in their defense,
especially at the big man position.
Yes,
especially at the big man position.
Like Rudy's kind of just winning it because it's like.
What were the numbers? I mean, we don't know it off the top of our head.
Yeah, but look up. We have time. Look up some Dwight. We can cut out whatever we need to cut out.
Dwight Howard basketball.
Because if Dwight was putting up better numbers than Rudy is, then it's like, bro, then it is like, I mean, beyond what we obviously like the eye test. It's like.
It's not even just that. It is what Demo said means something too, because 3 blocks in fucking 2009 means more than 3 blocks in 2020, bro.
100%.
Because the pace is a lot faster. 100%. You get 3 blocks easier because the game's moving quicker. Let me see which years
he won DPOY.
And so that block is so much more crushing when it's a slow ass game.
I hear that. Because if you can, how much DPOYs does Rudy have? You said 2.
He has like 3. 4, bro.
Yeah, he has a lot, dude. That's what I'm saying. If you wait defensive player of the years, you have to talk about him.
So in 9, 10, and 11,
but I also
Dwight got his DPOYs.
Okay, so what are we looking at?
So in 08, 09, He led the league with 2.9 blocks per game.
That's pretty crazy in 2009. It's pretty crazy.
And led the league with 13.8 rebounds.
Yeah, and he was boarding up. And that was a time where boards mattered a lot more, too. They still do, but...
The next year, led the league in blocks and rebounds again. 2.8 blocks, 0.9 steals, 13.2 boards. Sheesh. And then the third year, he didn't lead the league in either category, but he still put up 2.4 blocks, 1.4 steals, and 14.1 rebounds.
And he did make the finals.
He made the finals in that first year, 2009.
He finals.
Beat out LeBron. And as much as fucking Sterling was fixing the ratings and shit, why couldn't we get a LeBron Kobe finals? Like, they was doing the commercials with the puppets and shit, and then Dwight just fucked it up.
Imagine watching that back, like now, being able to see that cinema. Bro, the thing is, forgive me for not knowing this because I wasn't watching ball. Who were his co-stars that year?
Dwight?
Yes.
They just built, like, the perfect team around him. It was like,
they had, like,
Jameer Nelson, Hedo Turkoglu, J.J. Redick. Was Vince Carter on that team?
I don't know about that. It doesn't feel like it, but I wasn't watching ball, so I'm not the best source.
2009 Orlando.
I want to throw a name out there, but I know I'm wildly wrong.
Go for it.
Like a Tracy McGrady. I don't know if
definitely.
He was there way earlier.
He was in Houston at this time.
Okay.
I believe.
Oh, and they had Skip to my Lou, Rafer Alston.
Really?
They had Tony Batty, Keith Bogans, Brian Cook, Adano Foyle.
Holy shit, bro.
Young Marcin Gortat, Dwight.
Gortat.
They had Gortat. That's fucking nuts,
young
dude.
Courtney Lee.
That's nuts. That's
Rashard Lewis. They had Tyronn Lue.
What? That's
Jameer
crazy.
Nelson.
Shout out.
Michael Petrus. JJ. Jeremy Richardson. And Hedo Turkoglu. So no Vince Carter.
I knew Hedo was for sure on that team.
Yeah.
It's a solid team.
It's a solid team.
They just surrounded Dwight with shooters and let Jameer Nelson facilitate.
Yeah, that's some real shit. I mean, listen, I think Dwight Howard is definitely a better center than Rudy Gobert. Mm-hmm. That wasn't the argument I was trying to make. But Rudy Gobert, when they give him the Defensive Player of the Year, like, I watched the ceremonies and they glazed the hell out of him, man. They're like, wow, this is unprecedented because of this, this, and this. They put up all the stats.
I don't know. I've just seen Gobert get bodied too many times to be like, yeah, you're a great. I'm not.
But so has Dwight.
Yeah, but I'm still not.
That's what I've seen.
That's true. But that's old Dwight. Shit. Old Dwight gets bodied.
Especially Houston.
No, young Dwight.
I mean,
young Dwight got dunked on by Chris Paul.
I have seen that, bro.
You ain't seen that?
No, I've never seen that.
Oh, that's your guy, and you ain't seen him dunk on Dwight Howard?
Maybe if you show me, I'll be reminded, but I'm not sure if I have.
You type in Chris Paul dunk, first thing pops up, Chris Paul dunks on Dwight Howard.
Well, I mean, he probably hasn't had too many dunks.
And this is like 240p, like, because it was New Orleans Chris. So, look, we got the...
Oh, my gosh. Hey! Damn, Dwight looking young as shit, too.
That was before the arm sleeves.
Those jerseys are sick.
Yeah,
I want to give me a throwback.
I miss the New Orleans Hornets jerseys.
I definitely got to give me a throwback one of them, like a throwback Chris Paul.
Woo!
That would be pretty tough.
That might have to be my first throwback jersey to hang up on some shit, bro.
Yeah.
Just next positive.
I don't know what's gonna happen.
I would hang up my Rondo jersey, but
yeah, it's
a little green.
Yeah, it's gonna be a little bit of a problem with the Rondo.
Just a floating Rondo in a 9.
And a shamrock.
You have to pick a team on this pod, man.
Is it going to be the Hornets?
There's going to be an episode where you pick a team. It could be this one.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. I've always, enjoyed watching the Hornets, bro.
Can you explain to the folks why it's the Hornets?
So, honestly, coming from a casual, when I tune into the Charlotte Hornets, I know that I'm expecting not only Miles Bridges' greatness, but...
So that's really what I want you to get into. Tell them how much you glaze Miles Bridges.
Bro, listen, RTB. Miles Bridges is one... He's like...
He's your guy.
Is he your sunshine?
He's the next Scotty Barnes.
Are you pouring honey on him?
He's the next Scotty Barnes.
The next Scotty Barnes.
Literally older than Scotty Barnes.
That's what I'm about to...
Listen, but you know
you would say he was probably your favorite player?
Nah, I like...
okay. Ooh, I didn't know this.
Who the fuck
Pick this little sorry ass beat.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie.
Nah,
LaMelo's solid, but no, there's somebody else I'm trying to think of, bro. Brandon Miller on that motherfucker.
Ooh, Brandon Miller.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. You know, pass me my joint, man. You know what I'm saying. We love Brandon Miller. You know what I'm saying. Yeah. Stood on straight business back in college. You know, dodging cases. I know you remember that shit.
Man, I actually kind of forgot about.
Pass me the joint. Hey, you can bring my joint.
The Bama
So who's
boys.
your favorite rapper?
Oh, Miles Bridges.
RTB.
Miles Bridges.
But hey, he actually does. Shout out RTB, man. He actually does have a good, decent rap career. Like, it's not horrible. You know, oh my gosh, that reminded me.
Yeah.
You know what I heard the other day in random shuffle on Apple Music, like recommended?
Talk to me.
Ron Artest.
Ain't no fucking way.
This man has a rap song when he won the championship with Kobe.
Was it good?
I think I remember that now.
And honestly, it wasn't good. But for the time, okay, so listen, I didn't know it was Ron Artest. I was cleaning when I heard this, and I was just like, what the fuck is this, like, 2000s ass shit? So it just sounded like some 2000s rap. Yeah. So for the time, it fit in.
I feel you.
Like, it wasn't bad. So it was kind of on some RTB shit, like, where he just fits in with today's rap. Like,
yeah.
Surprisingly, for Ron Artest, it wasn't horrible.
Man, what happened to, like, what's his name? Like, Kai Jones or whatever the fuck that nigga name was?
Oh, is he on the Clippers?
Yeah, he's on the Clippers. Hey, he got the baldy.
Why did he do that?
Bro, who did he body, bro? He bodied the shit out of somebody.
Yeah. In the summer league.
Yeah, bro, he was like the first dude to body. Who gonna body with me? Kai Jones, baby.
Kai Jones.
Yeah. And that's all.
I got infinity money.
Infinity money. Bro. Yeah, he's a rapper too, yeah.
Yeah, bro. Y'all
not as good.
Hey, all jokes aside, you think he was off the person that Instagram?
Bro, perhaps.
It's a probability.
Like, it's not out the window.
I mean, his
let us know in the comments
for a little second.
Make sure to like, subscribe if you're rocking with our content so far.
Hey, shout out! We hit 10 subs.
Hey,
I know it's a small milestone, but it's
we're
gaining subs and we appreciate it, y'all.
On a bigger and
better.
To
all 10 of y'all, thank you.
Hell yeah!
I got infinity money.
I got infinity money. But let's get back into the Bucks Pacers game, because this was kind of an interesting game because Pascal and Giannis were going at each other.
They were.
These guys have kind of like, I would say, a friendly rivalry where every time I feel like they play each other, they kind of try to turn up against each other. And so it was an interesting game from that perspective, because Pascal usually is only like at one energy. He doesn't really like.
But he can kind of talk his shit to Giannis a little bit because of that 2019 run when they built that wall.
I didn't even think about that. Maybe that's why Giannis like chirps with him, like, because I feel like Giannis usually like.
Where's Serge Ibaka? Where's Marcus Gasol?
You think that, bro? That could be what he's saying to.
Where's Kawhi?
Because they were definitely talking that shit with each other, and I would say Giannis probably got the better of him. Because I mean,
it's Giannis.
Yeah, exactly where I was going with it. It's Giannis. Bucks were down 11 at half, but they went on a very big run in the third. I feel like Doc Rivers is kind of like doing a reverse himself, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Like, he's not really having, the Bucks as a team are not really having good first halves, but they're getting it together in the second half, and they're actually making adjustments, which is insane to see from Doc Rivers. He 100%. Must have finally realized that Tyronn Lue was probably right about things he was saying, and was like, I should probably remember some of those things or some shit. I don't know what happened.
Centel really got him locked in.
Centel. Or do you think, you know what it could be? I'm having a brain fart right now for the coach, Darvin Ham.
Low key, maybe they just needed each other. And
Darvin Ham definitely helped as an assistant there when they won the chip. So maybe Darvin Ham is just built to be an assistant coach.
In Milwaukee.
Specifically.
In Milwaukee.
Like, maybe
he knows the personnel.
Yeah.
He knows the strengths of, he knows how to build a winner around Giannis.
Mm-hmm. And going back to Pascal, he has the best 3-point percentage of his career so far this season. Now, he has to obviously keep that up. Still not, I think we're almost at the midpoint. We're getting close to the midpoint of the season. But I think Pascal is getting to that point where he's kind of lethal from three almost at this point. Like, you really have to step up on Pascal. And that's scary for him, because then he can do his fucking spin move on you all the time. He can just get to his spin move all the time. It's not like his Raptors days where you knew it was coming, so you could just strip it.
I just like Pascal only because it's like, I don't know, every time I watch him, it's like, it's like, it just hurts me to watch Pascal.
I think a lot of people feel that way.
He has a very funky play style, but he gets buckets.
And the way he looks funny.
He looks like a Harry Potter villain. He looks
like, this is I'm the captain now.
He does, but he doesn't sound like that at all.
Because what is he? He's Samoan. Not Samoan.
Somalian.
No, Somalian. There we go.
Somalian, is that what it is?
Yep, he's Somalian. And
I'm the captain.
There is a meme about Somalians, so he does look a little funky. But, man,
No, he's Cameroonian.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Hey, I
Wow, he just looks a little bit Somalian. Wow, so Cameroonian. My bad, Pascal. But I like Pascal's game now that he can shoot the 3-ball. It's a little bit more pleasing now because he can create space and he can actually get to his spots instead of just everyone waiting for him at a spot and then him just doing some dumb shit and hoping that it goes in.
Yeah.
And it would. Oh, sorry.
Nah, you go ahead.
And sometimes it would go in because he is a skilled finisher.
Yeah, and like when it comes to the shooting, I feel like there's tiers of shooters. So there's like guys that don't even try to shoot it.
Yep.
You know, your paint beasts.
You don't even have to guard them if they're at the 3, no matter what.
You got guys that try to shoot it, but maybe shouldn't. Mm-hmm. You got guys that'll shoot it every now and then, but it's like
very streaky.
Very streaky. And then you got people that can shoot, but they're not shooters.
Yeah, you have to guard them. That's it.
And then you got shooters, and then you got snipers.
And I think Pascal is probably still in the you have to guard him range.
I think he's a guy that can shoot.
Yeah.
And he's working his way up into the shooter category.
He's showing that he has the potential to get there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
When I called him lethal, that was misspeak. I would feel like I didn't mean to really say that, but he is getting to the point where he is an actual shooter.
Yeah. And not just a guy that shoots them and it'll go in sometimes.
I agree.
I feel that.
And it's interesting to see that development because in Toronto, I feel like every time he shot, it was like, oh, here comes the clank. Like you knew it was coming.
Even on his mid ranges sometimes. Yeah. But that's his go to now. Yep. Like his mid range face up.
And that's maybe what you don't like.
The spin off.
Sometimes watching midi ball isn't the most fun, especially if you grew up in modern day hoops.
Yeah, like I mean, if I'm gonna watch somebody shoot the mid, it's gonna be like a KD type nigga, bro. But and you could say Pascal kind of like I don't say mirror.
No.
They're both long. I get what you're coming at because they're
like
both
the
long.
body. I'm talking about like frame wise, my phone, not play style. Hold on, let me correct that. But like just the way like when I look at him, I'm like, bro, you doing some shit that I don't think your body can handle. Like.
Yeah, he's a little stiff.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, why are you
hunch.
moving like that?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't even know the human body could do that type shit. Like, why? You know?
But
we love Pascal Siakam.
We do.
We love Pascal.
Shout out Pascal Siakam.
Shout out.
I've definitely come to like him. But I also get where you're coming from because on the Raptors, I wasn't a big fan.
Yeah. I hated him on the Raptors.
His play is like...
That shit was
in
disgusting.
2K terms, he's got some janky-ass animations.
He's like a brown shirt.
But he knows how to work them.
Know?
Yeah, he knows how to work.
I feel you.
He's like one of those old heads playing 2K, kind of.
A little bit, yeah. It's like, what do you mean? I'm hitting shots. It's like, yeah, but it looks so ugly.
It's like, bro,
watch.
I just don't like playing with you because like you be doing this shit.
Hold on, young bloke, let me cook.
Yeah.
Hold on. Nigga airball. I'm like, what are we doing?
Hold on. And then shout out your guy Gary Trent in this game, man. As soon as he hit 2 clutch threes in this game to pretty much ice the game, I thought of you. Shouted him out. I was like, man. He was right. Gary Trent is having kind of a renaissance in a way with the Bucks.
A little bit.
He only comes in like the second half. It feels like he does nothing in the first halves of games.
We need you fresh.
Maybe that's what it is.
If he only has legs for 24 minutes, then
maybe it's something like that. I'm not too researched on it, but I think it could be something like that. You know about Gary Trent? He's kind of a streaky shooter. He has the dreads.
Yeah. I was seeing him put up them nice ass threes, but I mean like my homework on him now.
A shooter. But now he's just like a guy that can shoot. But it seems like he's getting back into shooter
Where was he before he was on the Bucks?
Toronto, right?
Yeah, Toronto, and then before that, Portland.
Portland, yeah.
Okay.
So he's been on some mediocre teams, you could say. The Bucks probably being the best team that he's been on so in recent memory.
Was he on that 2019 Raptors team?
I don't believe so. But if he was probably injured. Because I don't remember watching him on that team. I'm going to get a sip of my drink. Where did I put it?
Nah, it seems like they had every role player shooter except for Gary Trent Jr. Wait, no, that's crazy. I forgot about that entirely. Jeremy Lin was on that Raptors team.
Oh, he got injured.
Yeah, but he still gets a ring.
The ring. Yeah, Jeremy Lin has a ring.
That's why he retired. Crazy. And they had Patrick McCaw, who won the first 3 years in the league. He won 3 chips.
Jeremy Lin. Insanity, man.
Shout out Jeremy Lin, bro.
They had Jody Meeks and CJ Miles. Oh, Moose.
Speaking of nuts, I'm finna tap into these hot nuts.
They had what?
They had Moose Scala?
No, they had Moose, Greg Monroe.
Oh, you call him Moose?
That was his nickname.
That's crazy. I believe you. I just don't remember that. I remember calling Mike Muscala Moose.
Well, he might have appropriated it.
I think Mike Muscala might have been before Greg Monroe.
Nah, Greg Monroe was drafted like the year before Andre Drummond on some shit.
I remember one time I had my career with Detroit.
Yep.
And I was doing the pick and rolls with Greg Monroe and Andre Drummond.
Yep.
Beautiful.
Just throwing lobs.
It was so nice, and they played defense because this was like the year they were actually good.
Yeah. That was that Twin Towers project that they didn't give up on it, even though the personnel wasn't right. They still tried to do the Twin Towers with Tobias and Drummond, and then with Blake and Drummond.
Hell yeah.
Even though Tobias is more of a wing.
We're clip farming, man.
Imagine clip farming your podcast.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next game in the last. I'm not trying to be like that. I promise.
Nah, no.
Okay, so anyway, I
sound like a fucking like a teacher, bro. Like, okay, class, I get it. We're trying to goof around, but let's get back to the serious shit.
Let's get back to Macbeth.
Looking as, I mean, might as well be this Memphis Grizzlies Phoenix Suns game. Both teams were a little bit hurt. No Ja for the Grizzlies, and then no Nurkic for the Suns. Which honestly, it doesn't sound like it's an even trade-off. But watching this game, it kind of seems like it was. Like, I know people have been saying Memphis is kind of good without Ja for a while now. But even now, seeing Ja back, I don't think Ja makes as big as an impact as people think.
Yeah, because we're so used to guys that we put at the level of like Ja, or at least where we were putting them before the suspension and the injuries and stuff. We expect them to be like on teams that wouldn't be shit without them.
Yeah.
But it seems like in Memphis is that they have a really good team. Yep. And then Ja Morant is just like the most marketable player, the most attractive play style, gets the most highlights. And so that's their guy.
Yeah.
But in terms of like winning ball games, he's not actually like that crucial for them.
I feel that.
I agree with you because just watching them this game, man, they looked perfectly fine. They were the Suns didn't have to lead the whole game. Like this was, I'll be honest with y'all, like if y'all didn't watch this one, I don't blame you because this was kind of I learned things from this game, yes, but it was kind of a boring watch because the Suns every time the Suns would inch a little bit closer, get like 4-2, like they would get close. It would be Desmond Bane or Jaren Jackson who had I think 40 this game.
Desmond Benjamin.
Bro. Desmond Bane, respect to him. I don't like how his jumper looks, but respect to him, man. Desmond. He must have had an injury or something that he doesn't have anymore because he is moving quick out there. Like, he's moving like he is healthy. And I think that's part of the reason why the Grizzlies are the 2 seed, besides just their new system of the no-screen system that they're running. Mm-hmm. And another thing I noticed, they got a lot of white boys on the Memphis Grizzlies. They are probably the whitest team in the NBA if I had to pick one, which... No racism. It's just you don't usually see a lot of white dudes, especially on the same team in the NBA, which is kind of interesting. I think it's because a lot of them are like kind of unathletic second-round picks, so they didn't make it to the league because of their athleticism. So most of the time, when you don't make it to the league because of your athleticism,
you wind up in Memphis.
You're most likely you wind up in Memphis, and you're most likely gonna be a little pasty.
A little Caucasian from the mountains of Caucasus.
So it's just the archetype they're looking for happens to also be kind of a white guy archetype.
Imagine going to the clubs in Memphis talking about some, yeah, bro, I hoop for the Grizzlies. No, you don't.
And that's also you kind of
just put the fries in the bag.
Remind me of an interesting point there though, because when you're a small market team, you're also looking for people that are maybe into more chill lifestyles. But you could go. I don't know. Could you go clubbing in Memphis? I don't know a lot lot about Memphis actually. Yeah. Let me not speak too soon.
Yeah. They got a little scene.
Yeah,
because it's like the city of rock and roll.
Yeah, that's true. They're a small market team, but they're not. They're a good city.
It's a cultured city.
Yeah, it's like
how New Orleans.
It's like New Orleans. Yeah. Which, oh my gosh, surprising. Yeah, I know we already talked about it. It was surprising that they're cursed with such a nice city. And yeah, prayers up for them for what just happened, especially for sure. But back in this game, man, Tyus Jones is still crazy. He was definitely trying to get his get back. this game. Like you could tell he was not his get back, but his I mean I guess it is revenge game against his old team. They didn't really do him wrong, but he was trying to get at his old team. And one thing I noticed about the Suns is they don't have a lot of transition game. Like they turned the Grizzlies over a lot. They were playing decent defense, but every time they got in transition, they never made anything of it, and that was what was stopping them from actually gaining the lead. Like if you can't score in transition most of the time, you're not winning games. And it was most of the time that they turned it over in transition, actually turned it back over, or just had a stupid ass shot. Like I don't know if it's Memphis maybe having great transition defense.
It could be,
but the Suns are lost unless it's Tyus Jones with the ball. Tyus Jones knows how to make something happen on transition, but everyone else is.
KD is older. We know that, so man. He don't have the legs to get out there and run and transition like he used to in his Thunder Warrior days.
Yep.
Devin Booker has never been super athletic.
Yep.
So he's never really been the type of guy to eat and transition, anyways. And so then you look at their big three, who is the bulk of their scoring, and Brad Beal is looking like the best fast break option. And no disrespect to Brad, but he's not a fast break threat like that. Like they're all half court isolation scorers or run off a set where they run a pick and roll, they come off a ball screen. Mm-hmm. So like it just makes more sense for them, X's and O's wise, with their roster construction, to slow it down and to work for a good look, because you have guys that can get you good looks in a half court so consistently. But like you said, a big part of modern basketball is capitalizing on those turnovers and getting those easy transition points and picking up the pace. And when you can only play at one speed, whether you're the Pacers and you're playing fast the whole game, or you're the Suns and you're trying to slow it down every time, it gets easier for teams to guard you because they get into a rhythm of, okay, we know what they're about to do.
Yep. Yeah. And I completely agree with you. And I think you mentioned KD kind of getting older. I think that kind of helps this because he's not as quick down the floor. So when he's trying to do things that he's usually done, where KD can play make a little bit in the fast break, you can kind of tell he thinks he's quicker than he is sometimes.
Yeah.
And he turns the ball back over because of that. And he did that a couple of times this game. He made one good pass on a fast break this game, but I think he had 2 turnovers for that. So for every one pass, he's also turning the ball over twice. And also, to go with the age, his defense wasn't like standing out at all.
And
he kind of hides
the Warriors system. They found a way to maximize him, get him to be like a secondary rim protector. Mm-hmm. You know, Draymond was getting in his ear like, "Come on, bro.
Yeah,
you too damn tall and athletic to not be moving like that on defense." And then it felt like one of the biggest things that he was happy about when he left and went to Brooklyn is like, now I don't got to try my ass off on defense no more.
Yeah, and I think it shows because in my opinion, they're kind of hiding him. I think he's probably said, hey, I don't want to use all my energy on defense. I only have so much. And I'm not blaming KD. I really don't like KD, and I'm not blaming him for that. So I get it, but I think that's what he's kind of getting up there in age to where he can't be a defensive menace like he used to be. And I think he proved that to himself in the menace. Did they play Minnesota last year in a playoff series, or am I?
Yeah,
it's okay. I was making sure it wasn't a figment of my imagination.
That was the transition of power is never peaceful.
Yes, and he couldn't play defense that series. It was kind of showing that his defense was a little bit gone.
And was talking about, come guard me.
Yeah, and so I think he kind of realized, he's like, okay, I'm not gonna go all crazy on defense next year, and you're kind of seeing that now. And so yeah, the Suns didn't look very good this game. I know it was a close game, but it wasn't a close game.
I feel like someone who kind of made it close, at least towards like near the end, was like Plumlee. Like he was the only person trying for.
I'm glad you mentioned that because I was about to skip past
that. Man.
Bro, because what happened in my opinion was, like I said, KD. They put KD out there as the 5 defender to start the game because they had no Nurk, and KD was not getting it done. Like Jaren Jackson Jr. was doing whatever he wanted. That's where he got the majority of his 40 points, was in the first half, where they had no Miles Plumlee.
Yeah.
Once Miles Plumlee came into the game, things changed a lot for Jaren Jackson Jr. They had to go to Desmond Bane, and who else was scoring? Luke Kennard was also getting good timely buckets. And Memphis is also just very efficient, in my opinion. Like they're just very efficient scoring wise. They didn't miss a lot of shots. It didn't seem like.
Yeah.
So that's one thing that just kept the Suns out of the game.
Taylor Jenkins is a good ass coach.
Man, he's been a good ass coach, man. He's very consistent. We're kind of in a coaching renaissance, man.
Yeah,
Like,
I would say so because they're given. It felt like back in the 2010s, early 2010s, and into the 2000s. You had like one or two guys that were really analytical minds, and then everyone else was like a former player that was like a leader of men.
Yeah, or they had some type of like system that was kind of janky.
Yeah, like Doc
Gimmicky.
Rivers, Mike D'Antoni.
Yeah.
Like the only true like savants that were coaching back in that previous era before the Curry era was like
Spoelstra and Pop.
Pop, and then you can maybe say
Bud.
Phil.
Ooh, yeah, Phil Jackson,
because they did run the fuck out of the triangle in LA.
But
that's also one of those janky systems.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's kind of like a gimmick, you could say. I'm trying to think of one more. You could say Bud a little bit once the Hawks started catching on in 2014. They started being a good team, and then
but that's into the Curry.
That's
era.
true. That you're right about that because they had Korver, who was kind of like.
He was like the first Popovich disciple, wasn't he?
Ooh, he was.
Really, like,
I think he is part of that tree. He is part of that tree, and same with Spoelstra. That is. No, I think Spoelstra would be the. Is Spoelstra not a Pop disciple? I don't think I'm tripping.
I don't think so.
I think I'm tripping.
Yeah, because he moved up. I remember back in 2K13 days.
Yeah.
Because I had my career, my point guard was on the Heat. Because of course I was like 12.
Come on now.
And they were always talking. Doris Burke was always talking about. He started out in the media room, switching out tapes, or he started out in the mail room.
So see, that goes back to what I was saying earlier about freaking Pat Riley.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, this guy is just like Pat Riley's like little protege, bro. Like
it's his apprentice, bro.
Yes, I don't think he's gonna. I don't think the argument was if Eric Spoelstra is gonna be coaching until like he's
his
really
70s.
old, yeah, like Pop, or he's gonna retire kind of early. And I think he's gonna coach until he's old like Pop, and he thinks he's gonna retire. And we're gonna have to see that. We'll see in many years what happens. But let's go on to the next thing, man. The next, it wasn't a bomb, I would say, but it was finally. You said you wanted something to happen. Yeah, you said you were just waiting for something to happen. To me, this is something. This is something to look for.
It's something. It's more than the fucking Dennis Schroeder for 2 seconds.
D'Angelo Russell got traded for Dorian Finney-Smith and Shake Milton, man. So. D'Angelo reunion in Brooklyn, and Dorian Finney-Smith gets to go to a contender where he probably belongs, the type of player he is, like type of role player he is. I think we might have even said something about him in the past podcast episodes, saying something like
who's
that.
Gonna go get him?
Like, yeah, I'm actually, now that you say it, I'm pretty positive we did. So that's pretty interesting that we kind of pointed that out. So the Lakers went and got him, and I really need to rewatch the Lakers Cavs game. But just box score watching that game, when he got put in the game, they went on a run, man. So just first impressions, they seem to be good.
Yeah, because he's a really solid piece. I would say a borderline elite role player.
Yeah.
Because he's great
especially in his prime.
Oh, yeah.
Great defensively. He can guard pretty much 1 through 5. There are some centers that are going to, overpower him. But outside of those, like, bully ball centers, he can guard 1 through 5.
Yep.
He can shoot the 3.
Mm-hmm.
And he's athletic enough and coordinated enough that he can finish inside really well, especially off of cuts.
He is now that you're saying, he's just a very solid role player. Like, he's just, if you want a role player on your team, you want someone like Dorian Finney-Smith. He has some attitude, too. Like, I feel like he's a tough guy.
He has that dog in him.
Yeah, he's a tough guy for sure. He's not just going to let your team get bitched, which is it's a good thing to have. I'm trying to think who on the Lakers is kind of an enforcer like that.
Outside of AD and maybe LeBron.
Yeah, LeBron's kind of too old. He's too unk now.
Yeah.
To even enforce, which is crazy. But
like if he enforced the way that these young guys are, oh my gosh, I'm getting shit talked by LeBron right now.
I can't believe it.
This is my welcome to the NBA moment.
Oh my God, Jared McCain. LeBron shit on me. LeBron shit talked me in an NBA game. Looking ass.
I'm 2 days into college.
Oh wait, you're being serious right now?
Oh my God. No way.
Can we make a TikTok in the locker room after this?
Bro, can you tell my vlog that you did this, bro? Like, please.
You want to come on my podcast?
But I think this is a win-win for both teams. Like, this
definitely.
I mean, win-win for now because the Nets finally have their pick this year, and for some reason they're making like kind of winning moves in a way. Like, they should have tried to trade Dorian Finney for maybe like a bag of chips. And I get you could say D'Lo is like Lakers fans would maybe say, well, D'Lo is a bag of chips. But D'Lo's gonna help your team win games when he's all your team has, and I'm like not all your team has, but almost all your team has.
And like, there's a big difference between being the off-ball third option on a LeBron James Lakers team.
Yes.
So like you got the bright lights of LA, and then you got the bright lights of being LeBron's teammate, and being an important piece on a LeBron team.
Yep. Like DFS said, you're on a big brother team.
Yeah, and you got the off-ball role of like, secondary ball handler. We mainly need you to score, especially catch and shoot threes. Like we need you knocking them down. Versus D'Lo's game has always been as a primary playmaker. Needs the ball in his hands pretty much every time down the floor. Yeah. He needs the faith of the coaching and the front staff.
Yeah,
the coaching staff and front office to like. We believe in you. Like you're a guy that we want to see maximized, and we're not gonna make you fit in. We're gonna fit in around you.
And we already talked about that pressure that comes with being on a Braun team. Like it's that everyone on Twitter is gonna talk shit about you when you fuck up type of thing. Like I'm sure you've even seen that.
Yeah.
Like
you're the reason LeBron's not getting his 5th ring.
It's like
it gets crazy, bro. It's like it gets a little OD. Like your expectation of a player, like so you're this level of player, but when you get on a Braun team, you're expected to play like this.
100%.
Because LeBron improves his teammates, bro.
And he does. But it's the expectation at all times being a little bit higher than what you really are that is just like, you might become worse than you were.
Like, they want you to have your best game every game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's unrealistic. But
what did D'Lo average in his All-Star year with the Nets?
Yeah, that's a good interesting thing to know. I would like to know that. And he looks comfortable, man. He got injured. Speaking of D'Lo, he did get injured tonight when we were watching the game.
Yeah.
Sad stuff. Sad
Prayers
stuff
up to D'Lo.
But they won the game against the Bucks, man. Again, we were talking good about the Bucks, talk a little bit bad about the Bucks. The Bucks lost tonight.
They did go on a 20 to.
They went on a 20-0 run to come back against the Nets. And they did not finish the job.
You know what would have been a little cool though is if Dame did hit that shit. Like I know
Dame had a shot.
I know
two shots.
I know you don't have the upper body strength to catch it in the air and push it.
If
back.
anyone's gonna do it, it's gonna be Dame though.
I mean, yeah, but it was just a little too far.
It was a good shot though. Good attempt. Good attempt.
Yeah. And see, that's the thing about his All-Star years. Everyone's talking about he was an All-Star in Brooklyn. He averaged 21 and
that's
7.
Good, that's good.
With 1.2 steals.
You know what's funny? Didn't he get 22 and 6 the other night?
Something like that.
Holy shit.
He averaged 21 and 7 with what were his splits? 43% from the field.
Yeah.
37% from 3. And like 80% at the free throw line.
And he shot better than that the other night. So like, bro, he could do that. He could very easily do that again.
Yeah, and so like that's his max as a first option, and people were wanting him to put that shit up as a third option.
Yeah, like have less amount of shots, do the same thing.
Yeah, we need the same stats, but we're gonna drastically change your role.
Drastically change your role. Less amount of shots, more pressure. Do it.
Like, give us the same stats.
Not to humanize these guys too much, but that's a lot, you know? Like yeah, you could be a dog and overcome all that shit. I get it, but you know, that's a lot. So it's not saying D'Lo's just a terrible basketball player. D'Lo's a very good basketball player, just not elite.
Yeah, he's not the level of player that people thought he was when the Lakers went and got him back. It's just they were so sick of Russ, who also got that LeBron pressure put on him because, like,
Jesus.
I don't know why they felt
Lakers,
the need.
Man.
I don't know why they felt the need to go get guys who are only good when they're dominating the ball and they have a high usage rate. And they wanted to go put him next to LeBron James.
It's literally like what everyone said would happen to the Rockets when they got Chris Paul and they did it twice. Like they just didn't need to get another handler of the ball. Like it didn't need to happen, and they did it twice.
Like y'all won a championship with LeBron running point guard, and then y'all were like, "We're not doing that shit anymore.
We're gonna do it a different way now." Like they were just so confident. Rob Pelinka just must be one cocky motherfucker, man.
I'm going to win a ring with point LeBron, and I'm going to win a ring with scoring LeBron.
Because, I mean, think about it. You think Rob Pelinka is going to get fired next year or this year? I don't think so.
I think he has good job security
That's
for some reason.
Saying.
Other than his acumen as a basketball GM. I don't know. Maybe him and Jeannie got
That's what I was about to say. They got a little tang, man.
Yes, bro. Shout out to Maxwell Lewis. He was the fourth piece in that trade.
I don't know much about him.
I don't either, but he's in there, man.
He might become something. Oh, and the 3 second-round picks who might also, in this day and age, become something. True. So that was a good get for Brooklyn,
The 3-time MVP and reigning MVP of the league was a second-round pick during a Taco Bell commercial.
So second-round picks and three shots at them, like, that's nice. That's nice to have, and the Lakers are kind of also giving that away. I think Kyle Kuzma was a second-round pick.
Yeah, he was.
So
yeah, but, look at Kyle Kuzma.
Oh, gosh. Look at him now.
Where is he now?
The first player I want to talk about.
Look at Kyle Kuzma. So uninspirational.
It's Kyle Kuzma. No. Like first Kyle player Kuzma I want to talk about is a Wizard, though. Is his fellow Wizard, Bub Carrington. He got drafted this year. So I don't know a lot of guys from this draft. So when I saw him, it was kind of my first time seeing him because this draft was kind of a very under-the-radar draft. Mm-hmm. But, bro, he has a very smooth game, bro. His I did put his per 36 numbers up there because he's not getting too many minutes right now. But his per 36, he's averaging 10 and 4 on decent splits. And his game is just very, very smooth. Like, I feel like this is a guy that you're definitely going to hear about. We don't have to talk about him too much because it's a pure potential, look. But if y'all get the chance to watch the Wizards, one guy that y'all definitely need to look at and you'll have fun watching too is Bub Carrington, man. Like, he's a fun watch, bro. Like, he was
diamond in the rough.
Yeah, and he has, I like silky smooth players that don't have terrible shot selection.
Yeah.
And he's one of those where he wants to get to an open shot. He doesn't want to just, I'm going to do some cool-ass crossovers to get to this lame-ass contested shot.
Long two.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm getting
the Jordan Poole experience.
Yeah, he doesn't have any of that, and maybe it'll rub off on him. I hope not.
I hope he goes in the opposite direction.
Yes, me too. And
use him as not the example.
But he definitely has a lot of potential, man. He's a rookie, so rookies in the NBA, they take some time to develop, but the Wizards got a good little thing going on is what I realized watching that game. It's like, I think they're not as poverty as I thought they were. I think the Trailblazers might be more poverty.
I can smell.
Yeah,
they're cooking.
I can see what they're cooking a little bit, like in Washington. So they're not horrible. I wouldn't mind watching another Washington Wizard game. That's a crazy thing too. Like after watching the game, I was like, you know what? Next time I see the Wizards, I won't just say automatically like I'm not watching it because that's what I usually do. Usually when I see the Wizards, I'm like I'm not watching this one. The only reason I watched this one was because because of Jalen Brunson's 55. Man. So I had to go back and see what happened. But do you have anything else to say about Mr. Bub? I know he's kind of an under the radar player. I just wanted to throw him in here just in case he becomes a superstar.
You pretty much covered it.
Yeah. All right.
Also, Bilal Coulibaly, another nice piece on the Wizards. I know we were bringing him up earlier, but yeah, he has a lot of potential too.
I agree. The Frenchman.
They need to I don't want to say build around him, but
I think they are kind of.
Yeah, they need to give him more of the keys than he has.
For what I'll say, it looked like in this game, even though what was his name, Champagny had the biggest stats, it looked like the offense was running through Coulibaly.
Well, that's good to hear.
Which is a pretty good thing. And another funny thing about Bub Carrington, which I just remembered, he could have been a Trailblazer, speaking of the Trailblazers being more poverty, but they traded for Denny Avdija. So they traded Bub Carrington was a big piece in that package, which is very interesting to me because, I don't know, watching Bub Carrington, it doesn't seem like an even trade, even though it's just pure potential right now, and you can start Denny now, I understand that, but he's kind of like Kyle Kuzma. We know what he's going to be. Denny Avdija is not going to be a superstar in this league. I think Bub Carrington could be one day, potentially.
I could definitely see an all-star game or two in his future if he keeps developing.
Yeah.
In the way that we hope he does.
He could also be just one of those bench spark plugs. He could be a range of things, but it's not defined what he is right now already like it is someone like a Denny Avdija, which I don't know why you would trade a young piece for that. It is what it is. On to Darius Garland, man. This guy's crazy, man. I don't know if you've been keeping up with some Darius Garland, bro, but it's not the Darius Garland of old. Not even the old good Darius Garland. This is a metamorphosized Darius Garland.
He's arriving, bro.
He's arriving, man. He's doing his Steph Curry thing in a way. Like, no disrespect to Steph Curry, obviously he doesn't have the rings yet, but man, he's nice and he controls this offense. I don't think Donovan's, at least in this game that I watched and the couple games that I have been watching, Donovan doesn't control the offense as much as he used to. I think that's the big change this year.
Yeah, they're giving it over to DG, and he's not to exaggerate, but I would say he's doing some very Steve Nash type things with this offense.
Yeah, some I have a good question then. Him or Trae Young right now?
As a first option, just because Trae Young has the experience of a first option.
And he's less injury prone.
You
got to take Trae Young still. But it's becoming a conversation. I feel like it wasn't really a conversation before.
Yeah, because it used to be Darius Garland was like great value Trae Young. Yep. But now it's like they're both like all-star caliber guys. They're both in
guys. I would say I would take Trae Young, but they're in the same tier. If we're doing a tier list,
it's a question.
Yeah, though. if we're making a tier list, I'm not putting Trae Young in the tier above Darius Garland, in my opinion.
And a little bit of that is maybe some regression from Trae, or just like
stagnation.
Yeah, stagnation. Us realizing who he is, because that conference finals run got everyone going a little crazy about Trae Young.
That's true. There was one point where Trae Young's stock was very high.
But people were saying it was a win-win trade with the Mavs and the Hawks.
It's not that anymore.
Nope.
One thing I kind of did mention a little bit about Darius Garland is he's not very healthy. Well, he is right now, but he is not a very healthy individual as career-wise. He hasn't played more than 70 games ever in his career. He played high 60s twice in his career. It was 2020, 2021, and 2022, 2023. So, I mean, that's good to see that he's played at least high 60s, but the other years it was 40s, and this year, so he hasn't missed many games yet this year, but you can kind of look at I'm not knock on wood, man, and all that, but you can kind of expect that he's going to miss some games this year. Unless he stays healthy, we can't say Darius Garland has taken a full leap just yet. He's in the process of taking
he looks a little bit like he's been in the weight room this offseason.
I agree with that. Have you
he's
noticed that?
He's bigger than he's ever looked.
Yeah, bro. I completely agree with that. Even with the undershirt, you can tell that he's gotten bigger. And what's crazy about that, he's kept the speed.
Yeah.
And that's hard to do.
That's that fast twitch.
That quickness.
Yeah, he just has it in him. He just has them small ankles, whatever it is that just makes you quick like that. He definitely has that. Darius Garland's one of the big reasons the Cavs are hooping how they're hooping. So I think people got to start putting respect on his name.
Like we said at episode 1, second best backcourt in the league.
Behind who do we put?
Luka and Kyrie.
Yeah, Luka and Kyrie. Man, it's getting close.
It's getting close.
Oh boy! But like you said, like I said, I guess they have Jared Allen, and then you said they have Evan Mobley.
Yeah.
So.
And even Karis LeVert is a solid piece. They got shooters, Ty Jerome.
They have they have better pieces than the Mavs.
Max Strus.
I would say if you gave Luka and Kyrie that,
it'd be the same. To the finals
it would be the same conversation we're having with the Cavs. So I still think you do have to put them above. The next guy I already did kind of mention to y'all, at least, was Luke Kennard, man. He's shooting 45% from 3, and I'm not positive that's leading the league, but that's where the leaguers sit. The league leaders. I mixed up the words. Sit. So he's leading the league, and he has led the league before in 3-point percentage, but he's having his career high shooting the 3. And he is shooting that rock. But that's not the only thing he does. A lot of people see that he's a white guy, and they think maybe he's just a spot-up shooter. He can run that offense a little bit, man, and that's pretty interesting to me. He can dribble well, he can ball handle well, and then he can play a little bit of defense. He has some. I wrote there sneaky athleticism because it's kind of like a cliche to say about white people that have athleticism, but he really does have that sneaky athleticism that you wouldn't expect, and it helps the Memphis Grizzlies a lot more than people think. He's one of the reasons they don't need Ja out there all the time, because he can help calm the team down, and he's been a part of that culture for a long time at this point.
I hear that.
And when they want a different look from Ja, he is a very different player in terms of where he's going to get his shots, the usage rate, all that stuff. And I looked it up. He is leading the league in 3-point percentage.
That is crazy. That makes sense to me. And also, what's funny is they allowed a 3, and I think the Suns commentator was like, that's the only thing he can do. You just can't allow that. next possession is like he heard the commentator. He came down and started trying to cook, man. I swear to, and he did a pretty effective job. I don't know if he scored or assisted off of it, but the outcome was a bucket. I don't exactly remember how. So he has some versatility. I say that to say he does have some versatility. Obviously not the guy you want to go out there and try to cook people all day.
Shout out Luke Kennard.
But shout out, I wanted to shout out Luke Kennard because I feel like, to me, when I hear Luke Kennard, I think of like when he was like a role player for the Clippers and he wasn't like anything, man. He's really.
I think of him on the Pistons.
Really, that's crazy. That's even before. Mm. I kind of just think of him as like not a nobody, but like kind of a nobody NBA player. But
non-factor.
Yeah, but he's really not that anymore. He is definitely a factor. And it goes beyond box score. Obviously, if you look him up, yeah, he doesn't average crazy amounts, but a lot of role players don't average a crazy amount.
Yeah.
They play their role. That's the reason they're called role players. And actually, I think we should probably take a little bit of a pause to figure out our records and our. I guess we don't have to talk about our records. Yeah. We don't have to. We can just put it up on the. Yeah. We can just put it up on the thing. And
so some predictions.
So we do have to get some predictions. So Rob, can you pull up the reel again?
The reel? Which reel?
Like the real app.
Oh,
the sports app. No, you good, bro. So we can fucking get some predictions in. And then I'll just have our records. I made a record card for us too. So when we're like making our picks, we can have.
So I'm just on Google. But tomorrow, we got Hornets, Pistons, Magic, Raptors, Celtics,
we gotta do
Rockets.
Yeah, we gotta do that one just for the. I know there's better games because with Knicks Thunder, but let's do that one because we're fans of them.
Celtics, Rockets.
Okay, Celtics, Rockets.
Of course, I'm gonna say the Lakers. No, I'm going with the Celtics. They're off a back-to-back. Yeah, just got the close dub in Minnesota.
And you're coming to Houston.
We're coming all the way down to Houston.
We got y'all where we want y'all. Ooh, you know what I'm picking then. I'm going with. I wouldn't usually. If we were like going to Boston, I'm picking Boston all the way. I'm not that much of a homer.
But Jaylen Brown was out tonight. He might be out again tomorrow.
But what if he comes back? What if he was resting?
Let me look into his.
Let's research that a little bit before I make my pick. Because if he was resting, that is a little bit more scary. What are you thinking on this one?
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. If he's not injured and he's about to come back, I got Boston.
You got Boston. Yeah. Listen, we've been to a Boston-Houston game in Houston before, and we've seen how it goes. It usually does go like that. I don't think we've beaten Boston even on our own home court in years since Harden was here. So, I mean, the odds are stacked against us. But
so this is 5 hours ago.
Okay.
Joe Mazzulla, I guess, in the pregame press conference, it's just a strain. He got it in the last game versus the Raptors. It's kind of day-to-day, see how he feels. I think he's out tonight, but we will see how he is going forward.
I think that sounds like he's coming back tomorrow. Yeah. To me.
Might be.
It's a 50-50. So, I'm going to still take the Rockets, be a little bit of a homer here. The Rockets actually... I think they're a little bit overrated right now. They're stock-wise. I don't think a lot of people watch them because they're not on national TV.
And Amon's coming back, right, from his suspension?
I believe so. And I
think he was out 2 games.
Yeah, we won our game against him. No, I think he has one more game to serve in.
So y'all don't have Amon.
Yeah,
and that's who y'all would put on Tatum.
I don't think we have Tari either.
Yeah, because he gassed him up.
No, Tari was is still injured.
Oh, what? I thought he was on. Was he chirping from the bench?
Maybe he might have been
during the Tyler Hero thing.
I think so. You must be thinking of someone else, my brother. I don't know.
I saw something that said online where Tari like called Tyler Hero like a pussy ass bitch or something.
Love Tari, man, but probably from the bench.
Yeah,
because he has a weak injury, but he's been out for a while. And so with that, y'all might get it. And I'm about to say more bad about the Rockets. I think they're a little bit overrated because people don't watch them really, and they've just seen like, oh well, they snapped the Warriors streak against them, and they played well. They play like a gritty defensive team, and they have a good record and all that. But if actually watching the games, we have some deficiencies. I feel like offensively we're a pretty bad team. Like there's no ways around it. We're bad. It's not like we're mid. No, we're bad. We're a bad offensive team. So because of that. I'm still gonna pick the Rockets, but because of that, I think people need to chill out on the Rockets just a little bit. Not that people are like way overhyping them, but I don't even think we're really like even close to being contenders just yet. I think we still might only make the play-in this year. Like,
nah, I think y'all are a solid playoff team. I would say from the outside looking in.
It's still just so competitive in the West. I feel like that anything can happen, man. These competitive West, sometimes like 4 seeds can come down to the last day. It's crazy how it gets sometimes. But with that being said, I think the Rockets are in a good spot. They haven't played too many hard teams recently. They just came off a win against Dallas in Dallas, where they didn't have a lot of stars besides Kyrie. They looked pretty good in that game, even without Amen. So I'm gonna take them in this game. Be a little bit of a homer. You said you got Celtics.
Out? Yeah, I got the Celtics.
Yeah, Luka was out. Luka's been out,
especially without some major keys to Houston in their starting lineup. It's like,
yeah, because the Mavs got beat by Memphis real good the other night. I was wondering why, and then they have Luka or Kyrie.
Also,
Nuggets Spurs.
Is that what you want to do?
Yeah.
That's tomorrow. Also.
That's tomorrow also though. Not go to the next day.
Because I was gonna say we got Cavs Mavs tomorrow too.
Well, let's.
But if Luka's out, then it's not really.
We should probably not do that one.
Okay,
let's go next day. Suns Pacers, but we saw that today. Wow, the Pistons actually have a decent record, man. So
Nuggets Spurs back to back.
I like Nuggets Spurs back to back. See, I don't want to pick a back to back.
Grizzlies Warriors.
Go back to Saturday. There's Grizzlies Warriors on Saturday. Let's do that. Let's do that. Ooh, let's do that.
Is Ja gonna come back?
So Grizzlies Warriors. I don't know if Ja's gonna, but like we said, it really you can assess the Grizzlies kind of with and without Ja pretty similarly. I definitely have the Grizzlies in this one. They're at home. No, they're not. Ooh.
Ja's listed as week to week.
Okay. I definitely have the Grizz in this one, gut feeling. I just think the Grizzlies are the heads and heels better team. Heads over here is better team. However you say it. But, yeah, I think they get the dub in this one. What do you think?
I think, I'm not gonna. I'm gonna go with you because based off what we saw, even without having like Ja, it's like
and I don't like how the Warriors looked.
The Warriors haven't been looking good, man.
They've been shooting poorly.
How'd they do against the Sixers tonight? Oh, that game is coming down to the finish, and the Warriors blew out the Sixers by, it looks like, about 35.
Wow. Jeez.
So they're walking in with some confidence, so it'll be a good game.
I still got Memphis.
And they don't play tomorrow, so they'll be a little bit rested, but part of me wants to say the Warriors because I feel like Steph might have a game, like one of those games, but I'm going to stick with my head, and I'm gonna say the Grizzlies probably going to win it.
I think that's a good pick.
I think so as well.
Well, you got Grizzlies too.
Ooh, on Sunday we got Celtics Thunder.
Okay, let's definitely do that one. Celtics
Best
Thunder.
In the East on
and they're
paper.
They're going to OKC? Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Yep.
Okay.
It's in OKC.
Woo! I think the Thunder might expose y'all, man.
They might, because Jaylen Brown might still be out. Who knows?
I think it might be time, even if y'all beat Houston, or even if y'all lose Houston. It might be time for that wake-up game. And if that's not Houston, I think it's definitely going to be OKC. And I'm not saying, like, that proves OKC is the better team type of game, but it's going to be a wake-up game. For sure.
I mean, OKC versus the Celtics is crazy. Is OKC fully healthy, though?
For the most part, they don't have Shet.
Shet.
As you say.
Still no Shet?
No Shet.
No Shet. I mean, if OKC was fully healthy, I'd probably pick them. So, also given how, like you said, Doc Rivers making kind of coaching change, and also just Giannis kind of not necessarily being the face of them, but Damian Lillard's been off a little bit. He's kind of only showing up, quote unquote, when it matters, if you will. And it's like, even then, couldn't hit the game, the OT shot, but that's irrelevant. I feel like, the Bucks probably gonna win that one.
Okay.
Okay. The Bucks.
Yeah,
whoa! I'm tripping.
Thunder
I'm
or the
Celtics. I'm in Celtics.
You good, bro?
Yo, bro, whoa.
Also,
I'm tired, bro. Deadass draft started talking about a completely different game.
Jaylen Brown is day to day.
Jaylen Brown's day to day. Okay.
And then Kristaps Porzingis is also they're saying that he might be back even for the Rockets game. Because it was just a slight ankle sprain.
Type shit.
And the imaging came back better than they expected.
Type shit.
I feel like it's almost, I don't want to say a lock, but I feel like it's a good 80% chance that he plays against Thunder.
Word.
And that's a big dynamic added, because he's our Shet.
So you think that you're taking the Celtics?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I got the Celtics too to reiterate everything.
Especially if my guy's playing.
JB.
Hey. My favorite player on the team, man.
Shout out JB.
I've been a believer since I saw the college tape on draft night.
I want Porzingis Dingus.
Tingus Pingus.
What's our fourth game? We'll do 5.
They got a lot of
we'll do 5 each pod.
Let's see.
You go to the next day.
Monday. Bro, there's not a lot of games. You got Clippers.
Oh, let's do. Oh, yeah. Let's do Suns Sixers. I like Suns Sixers for this one.
I'm taking the Suns.
It's in Philadelphia though, so just remember that. And I think Joel's he's healthy now. Yeah, Kelly Oubre is out though with his hand.
I think I'm still. How is Brad Beal gonna be out?
Go to Phoenix.
Questionable.
So
Nurkic gonna be out now.
Oh no, then I'm taking.
Oh, that's a suspension though. How long is the suspension?
It's for that fight he got into, right?
Damn, here, hold on. 3 games. So he's already played. How many games has he been out on suspension? Only 2. So he's about to play his 3rd. So he'll be back for this game.
He'll be back.
Cause I'm not saying
Bradley Beal might be back then.
Then I'll take the Suns in this one.
Yeah, cause I'm not saying he can guard Embiid like that. Like he's not no lockdown defender, but he's a big body that can slow him down.
I agree. And
we already saw what Triple J did.
I agree.
When they don't have Nurkic around.
Well, let me see what.
And I'm not a big believer in the Sixers. I think they have a lot of talent on paper. I think McCain going down for the season is pretty big.
Yeah.
It hurt their chances.
But, Maxi's healthy now.
Maxi's healthy. PG is playing. Embiid's playing, but...
Still no Oubre.
I just, yeah, bro. Without Kelly Oubre,
Yes, bro.
He's such an integral piece.
Yeah.
Nah, but I really just... I don't know. I mean, like, he genuinely is an important piece.
But not the game breaker.
Yeah, but I'm going to take the Suns. I just think they got too much firepower.
I agree completely.
Like, you're going Suns?
Yeah,
Sweeping Suns?
Yeah, Suns for sure.
All right, we need one more game.
What's going to be our last one?
Tuesday, yeah.
What we got going Tuesday?
Payday.
Let's see, we got Celtics Nuggets.
Yeah, Celtics Nuggets. Bro, Celtics have been involved in 3 of these now.
Yeah, and I don't want to sound like a broken record.
You guys are going on a crazy road trip.
I gotta keep that in mind.
Going Rockets, Thunder, Nuggets, all at home.
That's
crazy. I mean,
it's
all
kind
on
of
the road.
On the same path.
Yeah,
but we're coming all the way down from Minnesota.
And you have to deal with their all 3 of their crowds besides Houston.
And with Denver, what I'm thinking about is that altitude.
Yep.
Because the air is just thinner up there.
Yeah, I think y'all are gonna. I'm gonna make my pick quick, short and sweet. I think y'all take another L. I know I took y'all for L's on all 3, but I think y'all take 2 out of the 3 L's, and I'm just gonna deal with one of them. Yeah, play the odds here.
I think looking at it analytically, like Russ has been playing really well for him. Jokic is Jokic.
Yeah.
MPJ can knock it down. We don't really have a piece that we can throw at him that can keep up with him and is tall enough to contest his shot. Maybe Tatum, but then I feel like you'd want Tatum somewhere else. Maybe. Actually, nah. They'll probably throw Tatum on MPJ. But even then, MPJ can still shoot over top because he has a high release and he gets up.
So who do you think would be a good team to stop Denver?
I do think the Celtics are one of the teams that are better equipped. I also think the Thunder, when fully healthy.
Yeah. I think the Timberwolves, the team that did last year.
Still. Because even though they don't have Cat, they still got Naz Reid.
And they still
Julius
got Julius
Randle's
Randle,
a big body.
Who can help defend.
In the paint, yeah.
Who can help defend Jokic.
Because we know Gobert is going to be the primary defender there when they play each other. And so it's just who you have coming over help side, clogging up the paint.
So, Nuggets.
It's tough to call that one, and my heart wants to say the Celtics, but like I said, looking at it with just my analytical brain, that's probably, if we're going to drop one, that's the one we're definitely probably going to drop. So I'm going to say the Nuggets.
Yeah, I say Nuggets as well.
Sweeping again. All right. Do y'all have anything else y'all want to talk about on this pod, man? Before we wrap it up? Always wrap it up, kids.
Always wrap it up.
We're gonna make
sure.
Always
wrap it up.
We're gonna make sure to wrap it up. Yeah, pray for Nola for sure.
Pray for Trump Tower in Vegas. Pray for what was that other one that happened? There was an accident in Hawaii. There was an accident in Hawaii because someone had just like way too many fireworks in their house. Pray for New York and
that's crazy.
Rest in power, Miss Peaches.
Hell yeah. We'll see y'all in the next episode, man. Peace.